good evening, good day. So, in the second part of my weight loss journey, I'm going to discuss more of the post-operative aspects. So, once I was home, I had to give myself shots for a few days. Fun experience, but necessary. Excuse me. I was still on the pain meds, but I took them for the first day, first couple of days actually. And then I started weaning myself. I didn't want to take them that often. I wanted to manage the pain without medication. And so that's what I started doing. And there was, of course, some soreness, but for the most part, I was able to get up. I was able to walk around my apartment, go out on my terrace, and I used my terrace to walk and walk around my apartment because they wanted you to be more physically active and to walk as much as you possibly could thereafter. And I did. I was again on a liquid diet, but this time after the surgery, because your stomach is really like a little tiny pocket, you're not hungry. So it's a lot easier to manage a liquid diet at that point because at that point, you're actually forcing yourself to eat. And drink water and liquids. And initially, I was very good. I was drinking that water like crazy, and I'm not a water person at all, unless it's in tea. I'm not really one for drinking water. So I then progressed to being able to have like soups and soups that had a little more consistency to them. And then from there to sort of like, salads with things that would dissolve pretty easily, like macaroni or something of that nature. And I was really only able to have maybe I'm going to say less than a half a cup, much less of food at that time. A couple of spoonfuls here and there. But the goal, oh my heavens, and the goal was to get to solid food, and in particular, scrambled eggs, because that was one of the first things on the list. And oh my heavens, when I could finally have some scrambled eggs, I thought I'd be elated. Funny thing, after the surgery, at least for me, some of my taste or desires for food changed. Some foods that I liked previously, I couldn't have. And some foods that I didn't like, I gained a new appreciation for. I've never been one for a lot of green vegetables and things of that nature. I'll eat salad. I love broccoli. I'll have cauliflower with broccoli, but cauliflower by itself, I don't know. I will have, goodness gracious. I will have string beans, sauteed with mushrooms and butter and the like. But peas, yeah, no. Particularly since growing up, my mother was strict in that there must be vegetable, starch, and meat on your plate. And, in order to get to that prized dessert, you had to clean your plate. So, after years of being forced to eat, those veggies that I was not a fan of, one of the best things about being an adult was I said F to the veggies. Um, so I really don't put a lot of those into my diet and still don't, admittedly. Time goes on, and then I'm able to. And one of the foods in particular that I love was like cheese, like having eggs and cheese or grilled cheese. It took a long time for me to like cheese again. And I was a cheese lover, like a cheese fanatic. A long time for me to get that taste back for cheese. And even now, I have to be careful. Um, if I have like mozzarella sticks, I can have a couple, but any more than a couple, the cheese will then begin to feel to me like it is like crumbling and drying up in my mouth, and I'll lose a taste for it. So I have to monitor the types of cheese and how much of that cheese that I can have. Another instance is ricotta. I mentioned before how we spent years living in Italy. So, um, in addition to soul food, I would say as much as we ate soul food, we ate Italian food as much or more. So, I was a lasagna fanatic. Lasagna is one of my favorite dishes to the point that growing up, when my mother would ask, what do I want to eat or have made for my birthday? Lasagna. Lasagna. Um, and I lost the ability to eat or the taste or to tolerate ricotta cheese. Oh my heavens, that killed me. Fortunately, now it's back. But there was a long period of time where I could not stand it. My Because I had gastric bypass, I have to strictly monitor the amount of sugar that I intake. So that means that, and to be honest with you, originally to qualify for, at least for my insurance company, to qualify for bariatric surgery, you would have to choose gastric bypass. But they, progressed where to the point where they were allowing people who wanted to have the bands and the like, and the other different types of bariatric surgeries to have those as well. So I had an option. And knowing myself, being honest with myself, knowing my addictions with food and how I use food as my drug to soothe loneliness, when I'm stressed. I knew that if I chose any other method, I would be right back in the same position. Because as soon as my stomach could tolerate it, I'd be chugging down that chocolate milk when I'm stressed, or eating cereal when I'm stressed. Having a gastric bypass surgery makes that impossible. So I can have chocolate milk now, but it's a low-fat chocolate milk, and I can only have about a cup of it, if that. But to be honest, I no longer have that desire to chug chocolate milk anymore, or to really drink milk the way I was drinking it in the past. I don't have the desire for it. My nephrologist would prefer if I were to drink more water to be more healthy, but I'd be lying to you all to say that that's what I do. I do not. Much to her chagrin, for a number of reasons that I'll discuss shortly, and I'm not being paid, I drink Coke Zero. One of the reasons is that, at least for me, I get a lot of gas. And not cute gas, but painful gas. So I'm, depending upon what I eat, whether it's some sort of salad, whether it's a particular type of meat, I will either have or take Gas-X, or make sure that I'm drinking Coke Zero, which helps get rid of that gas. And I thank you, Tay, for that advice. Because I did not realize they were the Tums or Gas-X or any of those antacid gas relievers are going to be my best friends. And oh, they are. I go nowhere without them. I've only had a couple of experiences with dumping, which is when I surpass the amount of sugar I should have. And I start to become hot and I start to sweat. And oh, it's a whole experience. You don't want it. So, and once you've had it, you, at least for me, you make sure that you do everything in your power to avoid having it again. Another change for me is that I stay cold. However, after my bariatric surgery, I cannot be too hot either, particularly when I'm eating. When I'm eating, I need to be cool. Trying to digest in a warm environment produces the same effect of the dumping, even though I have not surpassed my sugar intake. So I have to make sure my environment is a little bit cooler when I'm eating. But I don't feel as cold as I once did. I'm still not a fan of the cold, but I can manage it a lot better than previously. I spent so many years where I couldn't go to the store to buy clothes. I had to order everything online. And I'm 2 years out, and I still have to remind myself that I can go to Target and buy a little cheap outfit, or Walmart, or what have you. I don't have to go to a specialty store. That, to this day, still is something I'm working on, to remind myself that I can go to regular places and get things. Because I spent so many years where that was not available to me. Options is what I will say. Having the surgery, coming down to a healthy weight for my body, has given me options. And I believe in having as many options as possible in life. Previously, I had to fly first class everywhere. Because I needed the wider seat. And of course, I wanted to be one of the first people on the plane so I could get the extender, the seatbelt extender. And I didn't want to worry about inconveniencing another passenger. Even when flying with friends who are understanding, having half of your thigh up on them for 2 to 3 hours, understandably can be annoying. But they said nothing. They were, troopers about it, but I felt bad. Now I can fly in a regular seat. I can comfortably sit in my car. I can walk and run errands, and I'm not physically tired or drained. I still have other health issues. I have neuropathy, which affects my legs and my fingers. And so, in particular, extreme temperature changes affects my fingers. And if I type too long or work too long, they can be a bit hard to manage. And there's numbness in my legs and feet. And so I can't mindlessly walk. I have to concentrate on my walking. Because if I don't, I'll stumble and fall. But this has been life-changing. I went from 409 pounds and now I have lost 292 pounds. I'm so thankful and so proud of myself. I'm proud of myself for doing the work and sticking with. I'm thankful to NYU Langone, Dr. Christine Fielding, and the entire staff there for all of their support, because this is truly life changing. Thank you all. And I will continue to update you and provide additional videos related to my weight loss journey and different aspects of it. Have a good day. Have a good evening.